So this is a Norton Commando 1973. It was smoking badly on the left hand cylinder. Really noticing, particularly when it was on the side stand. Didn't notice so much when it was going in a straight line. Didn't want to take the cylinder head off to change the inlet valve oil seal, so I thought I'd have a go at taking it different approach, and a tool I've made here to compress the spring, but using the frame as the other sort of anchor point, if you like, so compressing down on the top of the valve retainer, on the valve spring retainer. I had to take the rocker out, so you need a special tool to do that with a Norton. It's this thing here, screws into the end of the rocker spindle, and then you pull it back and forth and it rocks and it whacks out the spindle. You have to heat up the head first with I used a hot air paint stripper to get it hot enough, probably go up to about sort of just slightly too hot to touch, and then it comes out. So my next task is to compress the spring to get the collets out, and then release the spring to change the oil seal. Now of course, before we can take the collets out, you have to make sure that the valve doesn't drop down inside the cylinder. So one of the techniques you use is take out the spark plug and then get it towards, compress it to top to center, but put rope inside the cylinder so it compresses up towards the top and holds the valve in place whilst the spring is compressed. Then you can get the collets out. Okay, well, using my handy little extraction tool here, I've removed the collets that hold the valve spring in, and sure enough, I see the problem, and it is the oil seal. The oil seal there has lifted off. It's come off its base on the valve guide, so that explains why it's been burning a lot of oil on that left hand cylinder. To change the inlet oil seal on the Norton 750 1973, didn't want to take the cylinder head off, as you know. These are the tools that you're going to need. You need this extractor tool here, Norton service tool 061028. This tool here is for removing the rocker spindles. So there's the thing there, and you need to heat the head up with some sort of hot air paint stripper, which is what I used, and then you slide this thing back and forth, and then it pulls out the spindle. When you do it, be really careful, because these washers, there's a spring washer and there's two little thrust washers there. When you take the spindle out the head and releasing the rocker, of course you can drop these things down inside the engine, so be really careful when you take out the spindle. So once you've got the spindle out, you can compress the spring with this, like a tool. I made this tool, you won't be able to buy this one, but to give you an idea of what it looks like and the dimensions, there you go. This bit here obviously sits on top of the spring. This bit here sits in the top of the frame. You'll see from the other bits of the video. And as you tighten that nut down, that bit pushes down and then pushes the spring down. You have to release the collets slightly on the top of the valves. Just a small tap on the top, just to release the friction sort of fit of the collets, where they just hold in the top of the top of the valve there. So good luck with that. Oh yes, and then when you've before you compress the spring, of course, you've got to put the engine at top dead center, squeeze in some rope inside the cylinder to keep the valves at the top of the engine, stop them falling down inside. And you need about 2 meters of quite thick rope. It doesn't seem too get caught up inside the cylinder if you use thickish stuff. So good luck with that.